Good morning, beautiful family, out of the light and from the waters on this first calendar day of this new year, and greeting you with water and the rainbow plasma light, our true essence that never dies and is never born, that is also timeless. So today, on this day where the collective celebrates time, like the new year is celebrated almost everywhere, and showing the time construct. It comes with beliefs and patterns of, oh, now we are setting intentions and sharing wishes, and really taking a moment to, it's also a beautiful energy to where people reflect and wish each other happiness and sending greetings to each other. And I mean, we could do this every day. Every day is a new day, every moment is a new moment, but collectively right now it's a celebration of a new beginning. And energetically there isn't a new beginning, because every moment is a new beginning. And energetically sometimes, like, the new beginning begins more like now, it begins now, and it also is more like in March or so. And this Gregorian calendar is quite a distorted version. So we can use this day also, this portal, to further leave the construct of time, using time for appointments and so on, but not using it to live by, but living like the ocean, flowing and always on, and following a rhythm like the tides, coming in and coming out, and being strong and being softer. And let's go a bit further to the ocean. Also, what is in my awareness this morning is the concept of fortress. This is a beautiful land that a few weeks ago I deeply journeyed with, before it was transfigured, before it started its rebirthing process. Trees taken down, all the vegetation taken out, and there is now a fortress here, a fence built around that is called fortress. And I'm still deeply journeying with this land. It's my land, I'm a custodian of this, and have a look how it looks like now. And tune into fortress, what fortress means. You know, fortress is also on a personal level when we have become so strong that we are not influenced by anything outside of us. That's how I see it. So a fortress can be, you know, a big wall around the city, and in which, or like this fence is a fortress. It's protecting this area from invaders that are not meant to go in. And yet you can slip through, you can crawl underneath, but there is a boundary here. And not too long ago, not even more than 10 years ago, I didn't even know what boundaries were. So you can imagine how that went. I had to learn that also as a parent. So I'm a very, very open being. I'm as open as the ocean there. And I had to learn actually how to have a fortress, how to be a fortress. So the boundaries are like our skin, our skin connects. That is like this. Our skin connects, we can touch our skin. And our skin also needs to let through water and nutrients and energy in and out, sweat, and yeah, so it connects and it protects. That's what this is doing. And then it says there, the wall, all these rocks. You know, I work, as you know, I work very much with the environment. Everything that comes into my way has a meaning, even this spit out mango pit. Oh, really, look, there's also still flashes of mango on it. And yeah, it's a beautiful reminder of this juicy fruit. And these rocks are all going to be put in a new way together. And this is how it looks like on the inside when we dismantle our old constructs. We are building a fortress that makes us, yeah, no outside influences come in. This is what I am wishing you all for this new year, this new now. And yes, I want to also express wishes today. I express them every day. And today, of course, as the whole collective is expressing wishes, why not? It's beautiful. And gratitude. And I thank you all for being here with me, journeying with me. And let's go to the ocean, and I want to sit down so I can be not walking around and be a bit stiller and drop deeper in. Because that really requires full presence to share my wishes with you. And yeah, this beautiful light and water, water and light dancing together, water and earth dancing together. I can't wait to go into those waves, rebirthing. And let's sit behind this rock. Yeah. So it feels very grounding to sit next to a rock, having my shoulder on the rock. Yeah, and I never plan, as you see, where I'm gonna sit, what I'm gonna say. It's all straight from source to you. Now as my shoulder rests against the rock, I'm feeling the gratitude of my shoulder. That shoulder dislocated 4 times altogether, so it still loves to be held and loves to feel strength. And yeah, you know, when body parts dislocate as well, there's an opening happening in the body. There's so much pain that frees up. It's not just the pain of the actual dislocation or break or whatever, but it's the pain of what is stored in there. It's part of our healing with our body. So yeah, the left shoulder, of course, is also very connected to the heart energy. And yeah, so but back to the fortress and the boundaries and my wishes for you. Yeah, I wish you that you are going deep, deep to your core, so deeply to your core and your alignment, through feeling, through stopping and feeling and dropping into your embodiment, out of the patterns and the constructs, that you become a fortress, not anymore influenced or disturbed by anything that happens around outside of you, outside of us. Yeah, that is the living yoga, the living union the living unity, the sacred union within. So, and out of that fortress, living in alignment, being in alignment, what does it even mean? And it can be just, there's so much talk and talk and talk, and some only talk about it. It happens a lot in the spiritual communities, but we see everyone's talk on their walk. Alignment is staying true to our values no matter what happens. So the fortress, undisturbed by what happens, we are staying in alignment and true to our values. No matter what the fear is and all of that, we stay true to our values. That is alignment. For that we need to know our values. We need to know ourselves, why we are here, who we are on all levels. And then the beautiful multidimensional integration. And integrity is part of alignment. And integrity can't be faked. It has to be lived. And there's so much wisdom in the Bible, even that by their fruits you will recognize them. By their walk you recognize them. Our life, not what we talk about, but how we live, is showing. And I wish you the most beautiful life in deep alignment. I wish you deep connectedness, and compassion, and connecting within to the monad and to source, and out of that connecting with everyone on this planet. And I wish for the collective, and I wish for everybody, for the hearts to open, and for the alignment, for the fortresses from the inside out, people stopping projecting. I wish for the stop of projection, but taking own accountability, and the peace and the love we are lived and embodied, and realizing that we are all one, and caring for each other and creating together. Stopping the caring and creating only for self. This is what I'm often noticing with the water, the Kangen water, the return to origin water, and the frequency machines, which are both shared via direct selling and as a network, mycelium network, where we all nourish each other and we flow like the ocean waves together. And I have learned through this that there is no competition, there is a sharing together. And for me, how I see it, I'm not striving in it and hustling in it. I'm staying aligned with my values and with my guidance, why I am sharing this. And I'm also noticing that it's beyond me. And that's what many of us notice with the frequency devices, because we are waiting for them to arrive. And in that time while we are waiting, we are reading all these testimonials, and we begin sharing about the testimonials because it's helping so many others. The same with the Kangen water. And then many people feel it, and we haven't even tried it. And then some people say, oh, I don't want to yet talk about it. I want to try it for myself first. And it's not about ourselves, really. It is about how many are being helped. And that's actually enough. And when we share that, yes, you, when I share it and you hear it from me, and you know me and you trust me, or you see, you know me for 40 years or whatever, or 30 or 10 or 12, and you know my values, and you know that what I share is in alignment with my values, so it comes from deep integrity and from my care, which is deep authentic care for the whole, then yeah, that's like I am just the messenger, and the messenger from source, and the messenger of what I share that is helping humanity also shift us around into unity. So I don't need to wait to try something out myself. I did that a lot with the water. I always said I have to embody it first and I have to feel it. But now that I've done it and I see it, actually with the frequencies, it's different. I began sharing immediately, and many do, without even having their own, because we are hearing how many people are being helped. Yeah, so I have opened, I have shifted, and I know how it is when you are not, because I've been there. So I'm also guiding you to shift. That's what I'm sharing for the activations. We all need to deprogram our human conditioning. We've been conditioned. We are living, most humans are living, everybody, how we were conditioned up to the age of 7. I'm still unraveling deep programs. Like I shared yesterday about the book I was reading, The Stable Boy of Auschwitz, and continuously in the video I shared about like the oil crisis in 1973 when I was born and so on. These are deeply rooted in my system. Why I have been feeling I need to save, and always feeling scared and anxious about money, because I was trained and conditioned to that from the moment I was conceived almost. And speaking to that, like right now on New Year's Eve, and in Germany that is right now, I was conceived. This is my conception birthday. Today, right now, in the next hours, whatever, right now, I was conceived. I was being called in the time when the planet, all the world, entered an oil crisis, and it all began, and especially in Germany, and that followed me through my whole life. And my father always saying, it's all gonna go downhill. It's all gonna go downhill. Like I shared in the video yesterday about the book, the trauma was never healed and never cleared. The trauma from the wars was never healed and cleared. So many of us chain breakers are here to heal these ancestral traumas and to bring a new model in. I'm also here to guide the way out of time, the artificial time, into natural time. And what can be better a teacher than the ocean, which is in natural timing. Yeah. And the 13 months moon calendar, where we are right now in the white wizard wave spell. So the white light, the white magic. Yeah. I know who I am. I know what I'm here for. I have been embodying that. I've been freeing myself and deconstructing my constructs out of my physical body, as well out of my energy, my soul, my psyche, and coming in. And I have never been deeper in my monadic energy and expressing from there. And there is no time in the monad. The monad, it is our energy. We were never born and we never die. That is what always stays. No matter how we look, no matter what we do, no matter if we are dead or alive, my monadic energy is always the same. And when we are again dropping into our monadic energy and expressing from that, then we are free. We are out of time, we are out of separation, because there is only unity in there, and we are there. We are then in our full embodiment of our true essence. There's nothing further. There's nothing further than arriving back This is what return to origin means. The water has literally been carrying me there. Kangen means return to origin. It has been carrying me there. That was the message from Source. Drink this water and tell people about it. So that's what I've been doing. That's why I'm sitting here today and have a channel now full of over 400 videos. And I am deeply in my mission now, in my monadic mission, here as a human, my soul mission. That's why I was conceived in the New Year's Eve of 74, to be born in 73 with the oil crisis. And in my first months of being alive, we had a whole month of no cars driving around on a Sunday, which was beautiful. It's as if I remember it even. That's why I loved the lockdowns when it was quiet like that again. Yeah, I remember it, of course. We remember everything when we do. So that's the time I was born into. And from the moment I was born into that, I was conditioned into the patterns, and I came in, which I went into amnesia about and forgot who I was and why I was here. But I deeply always followed Source, especially when I felt it strongly. When it told me to go to America as a high school student, I knew that. So I spent a year in that sacred country, and I'm speaking about the earth, not the government, but the earth there. And I got to know almost all the sacred places there with my grandparents together. When they came and traveled with me, we visited all these sacred places together. And while we were traveling, we shared. We talked about the war times. We talked about their life. I asked them questions. So I got to know them deeply, and I got to learn, and that prepared me. And I have always been helping, healing, and bringing in the new. I was always criticized for that when I brought all these newness forward of stopping to eat white bread and just all these different things. I was always bringing new things to my family, my physical family, and now I have just expanded into my global family, thanks to this water. Thanks to the frequency devices. It has been a long way coming. So I traveled to all these sacred places in America, and I had another strong calling when I was guided to go to Australia to study, which I did, made it happen. When I get this calling, I know that's from my soul. There is no negotiating. I have to make it happen. And as a child, teenager, that can be difficult because you have to convince your parents of that. But I always knew, and of course then we are supported. We need to go where we need to go. So I have succinct moments in my life where I remember that. That was going to America, making that happen, and going to Australia, to West Australia. And again, my grandparents came out there, and my mother, and my sister, and my father. And we traveled to the sacred places that are especially important now and were then. And for my body to repattern. In all these places I visited, I got repatterned from the land. So I lived in West Australia, I lived in Perth, I traveled everywhere. That's what my grandparents made sure. And I worked in the West Australian Tourism Centre while I was studying tourism and event management. So I studied for 2 years there, and we traveled the whole coast. We didn't have so much time, so we did a lot in plane, but we got to see and feel everything. It's a big, big state. And through working in the West Australian Tourism Centre, I also was always tuning in and sending people to the sacred places. And then with my father, I traveled down south, all the way down south. We saw it all. And I traveled with him to Uluru and the center of Australia and all the places there. So that repatterned me. I also traveled across the Nullarbor. I lived in Adelaide when I came out later to marry my husband then. And we lived in Adelaide. I traveled also to Melbourne. I traveled to Sydney. I traveled again with my mother a lot and my sister too, and traveled the Great Ocean Road. I've been to the islands in Queensland. So I've been to many sacred sites, not just for tourism, but to repattern myself, to take up the codes. That's why I worked in tourism before I shifted into yoga teaching and body talk and all of that. Before I shifted into the inner travel agent, to go to our inside. And then, and now I'm here. That was another strong guidance when we lived in Adelaide and we just had our son. I was strongly called to come here, to the east coast of Australia, to this exact space where this rock is. And I knew it then that would have to happen. I knew it. That was my soul again guiding me. So we made that happen, because there isn't any way of not making it happen when soul is calling. And here, sacred codes, and many of us who are the chain breakers, we are on crystal land. We are on land that is helping us to remember, that is helping us to change. And where we are can do our earth grid work, where we are working up to the grid work we are here to do, and to actually be fully working for the collective. This is not in a sacrificing way, those times are over, but fully from our own fulfillment, our inside out, for the whole, because we are all one. And I knew when I landed in Perth, I looked up to the sky and I heard, "You have arrived, you are home. This is my home." I knew I had to make my life here, and I had to surrender how that would happen. But I'm here. I'm here today now. I've been here now for more than half my life, and I am so grateful for the guidance, and grateful for all the support, for everything that I could remember, and that I can do my work, which is not for myself and not the ego. And I always kept going. I didn't stop. When I was a yoga teacher. I didn't stop when I was a body talk practitioner. I never stopped. Even now, I just keep going because I'm in my monadic flow. So I'm not giving myself labels. But I've come so far, and this is embodied. Now my children are 21 and 17. I have gained such deep human physical wisdom, besides of all that I've been studying. I've been studying like crazy for the last years, the last over 20 years, 20 especially, all around health and body and the soul. And I have written. I have hundreds of books that I've written. So I'm now deeply able to consult, to guide, to share from this embodiment. And that's what I am here for, and I'm wishing for you, your remembrance of who you truly are, and you coming fully home, back to your monadic essence. Because then we're living in peace and harmony. Then there isn't any more seeking, there isn't even any desire anymore. I am not desiring anything anymore. I just know what is, I'm just keep going in the monadic energy. We just keep flowing, and guided. Yeah, guided. So these words can go away of waiting is gone, hustling is gone, desire is gone. It's deeply peaceful, deeply peaceful. Yeah. So I'm wishing you deep hydration, beautiful health, powerful rebirth. I'm wishing you the strength and the courage to rebirth and come home to your monad, to the monad, to your soul. And I'm wishing you the capacity to be able to open your mind to even begin that. Now, sometimes it's as difficult as changing our water. Changing our water changes our life. And there's all these beliefs of why we don't need that, and the comfort zones, and yeah, the old fortresses. So we need to be really opening, and then embodying and stopping, surrendering the ego to the soul. We don't get rid of the ego, we just revert soul-led living, but the ego has to surrender, and the fucking control needs to surrender. If you're not stopping controlling, and that mostly happens on a subconscious level, then you can't change. So that's the biggest struggle, our own control patterns. And I know that very well. And from having been born in Germany in 73, yeah, control, and my Mars is in Taurus. I've been very stubborn as well, and that can, in every Body Talk session, also by John Weltheim, the founder of Body Talk, he said, he always told me, you're so stubborn. He made a joke about it. But that's why I was holding on to patterns and anything I had, I held on for a long time to it. So it took ages to solve because I was so stubborn. Okay, that can be also a very helpful strength and energy. If I want something, or if I need to, no, that's the old. But this deep core persistence and showing up for my soul, that's helping me with it. So it had to balance out, which is so wonderful with Body Talk. We are drawing, we learned how to draw the strength of one part to strengthen the weakness of another part. Yeah, anyway. It took me also 8 years or 9 to change my water, because I found out about the Kangen water many, many years ago, now 9 or so. And I also thought I didn't need it. I just buy a cheaper water filter, and I didn't get it. I wish I had, but I didn't. So I understand if you don't. I also thought it was way too expensive. I also didn't think network marketing was, I didn't want to do that. Didn't want to be in that. It was just not my time, and I understand. So when you feel the same now, and I wish I hadn't. I see it from a very different perspective now, and the water has softened me and has allowed me to actually shift that stubbornness, and it has helped me bring my control into flow and surrender my ego to my soul. It's almost a beautiful rhyme. It's like living poetry, what is always coming out of the lives. So this I all wish you. I wish that you get the truth and not have the constructs and the limiting beliefs in the way. This is the same with empowering, taking our health into our own hand, not immediately blocking off. If we have our own frequency devices, we are saving tons in energy and time and money. It's all one, because we don't need to go so often to others to help us. You don't need to go then and buy a frequency session for $200 or whatever. You don't need to always go spend your petrol to go there and your time, and that's what everybody is reporting. They're needing much less sessions, much less food, much less supplements, much less anything. So if you block yourself immediately by saying, oh, that's not for me, or because it's direct selling, it's network marketing, I don't want to hear about it, you're blocking. It's an old construct. So I wish you deep openness, and not because I'm direct selling this and I want to sell this to you. I just, for you, in any aspect of your life, I wish you deep openness and the fortress to not be distracted and influenced by anything that's not for your soul, because it's about your alignment. So for me, all of this is in my alignment, and if you resonate, then that's in your alignment too, and we are in alignment. But if not, then you're not even listening to this, and then we're not aligned, and that's fine. That is totally normal. Of course. So I am not for everybody, and yet what I'm doing is for everybody and for the whole. What I'm here for the collective. And this goes right now into the grid. Right now is my conception birthday, and I am also rebirthing soon in the water, my daily baptism, my daily commitment, my beautiful rebirthing with water. It's the Aqua Phoenix movement. We are rebirthing with water, and I'm celebrating that today, because for 2 years now I've been showing up for this, the Aqua Phoenix movement, and the quantum field is full of it. And here too we are gathering, we are meeting, and the minds are opening and the bodies are opening, and yeah, beautiful, beautiful to meet you soul family, and yeah, keeping transforming, alchemizing our pain and everything into love. So I'm wishing you peace and love and overflow and abundance, and a life free of anxiety and free of stress and free of constant this anxiety and fear that money is going to run out, and that love is going to end and that the resources are going to end, and that we're all going to die, and that yes, all the time we die and we rebirth, and we are, if you have followed me the last few weeks when I've been rebirthing with this land, it was about being resourced from the deep dark, the core of matter, the black hole, and from our monad. We are being resourced all the time. There's also technologies waiting to come out where we don't need all these resources. And isn't it interesting that right now there are so many people choosing big cars, whereas when I was born the shift was to little cars, whereas it was a very American thing to drive big cars. That's what I noticed when I first went there when I was 16. Everybody had a big car, and everything, the supermarkets were big, and there was so much food, and everything was big, supersized. And if you bought something, that was the principle. Oh, do you want to have an upsize to that? Do you want to have that enlarged? And people were as big as I had never seen them, and it was just big and also wasteful. Big houses and big. So anyway, we are being resourced naturally out of the monad, from the dark core of matter, and we in our monadic energy have exactly what we need, and sometimes we need a bigger space as we are expanding. The ceilings might need to be high, the house might need to be a bit bigger so that we can expand, and whatever we need to do with those places, that's going to be shown when we are fully surrendered to the monad. So, but this is not from ego. This is all for a reason. Yeah. So, I wish you deep arrival in your body, in this divine instrument of love, upgrading of the divine instrument of love, the divine instrument of through which we express our monad, through which we fulfill and walk around. Yeah, and to do that, it's ideal if we are not in pain, physical pain. So that is a priority, our body, our well-being, our full, that we can run on full energy. So what I've been sharing is helping that, so that we can do our mission, which is also just to be living here and living love, and being here like the ocean, and being here like the animals, and yeah, not the slaves, and which comes from old programs, and bringing our full DNA strand on, if that's 12 or 24 or whatever, but our full potential, embodying our full potential, our infinite potential, but not staying in the infinite loop, but really embodying it now. So I'm wishing you also shifting out of the Gregorian calendar into now time. So now, it's now. Because the Gregorian calendar is also feeding the waiting. We've been conditioned to always wait for something. There isn't any waiting. We can do it now, not tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. So the new year also never comes. We are here right now. All the rest is an illusion. So I'm wishing you a happy new year. And I'm also wishing you to stay happy now and the next now, and to free out of these constructs. And I always wish you this. I always wish you full abundance, full health, full joy, full aligned living, and thriving naturally from the monad, and living for the whole, and creating together with ease and grace, not flogging ourselves. Yeah, it is also an old construct. So I could go on and on and on, but the message is set. I'm wishing you the embodiment of your light, and yeah, light and love, and really living that in the physical reality, not just in the, at first we visionaries have to feel it and see it, but to let it allow to come really into the fortress, what is allowed to come in, and staying out what isn't. That's a fortress. Yeah, staying in our own full alignment and coming deeper in. And all is coming to us in that. We don't have to run for it. It's coming. It's already in there. So let's drink to that. Pure, clear, restructured water. Electrolyzed, microclustered water, deeply hydrating us. Energizing and connecting, and the beautiful frequencies of the terahertz, the light of life, and the PEMF of the earth, the pulsed electromagnetic field of the earth, and the beautiful rock. And yeah, to our rock solid alignment, our rock solid integrity, our full divine embodiment, the union of our higher self and our body, our spirit and our matter, and not in an arrogant, illusioned way, but really, which we happens through feeling and stopping, and not just talking about it, and the letting go of control. It's so beautiful beyond. When we've let go of control, it is so beautiful. It's very challenging to get there. Very, very, very. And it continuously also keeps unraveling. There isn't anywhere to get to. There isn't. It's just to be. Yeah. So have a beautiful new year. Have a beautiful new now. now, not tomorrow, and have a magical life full of magic and in the mystery and full of wonder and gratitude and grace. And yeah, I can't even fully express now. I can what I wish for you. I have been doing that, and I feel my heart just, I wish you deep heart, aligned living, and the open heart through which we can feel. And I wish you a deep surrender and allowing the feelings and slowing down and being fully you, being fully us, authentically, shame and guilt free, anxiety free, our true nature. So have a magical day, a magical year, a magical wave spell, a magical now, and looking forward. See the old language? We are approaching, we are in the last months of the snake. We're not yet out of that. The fire horse is waiting there. But that's also all just, we can feel the energy, but it's all now. It's all now. It's all now. Everything is now. Everything is now. Nothing to wait for. You don't have to wait for the fire horse. We just have to be in the monad and follow inspired action. Only do action when we are inspired by our monadic energy to it. Not because we think or because of ego. So let's turn this around. Here's all the beautiful rocks and the big rock and the beautiful clouds and the beautiful waves coming in. So new energy coming in, the old energy going out, this beautiful crystalline energy. There is a fortress, 2-hour fortress, which is not a rock solid wall but permeable. And the lifeguards, we are being guarded and protected, and deep gratitude for our waters. This planet is a water planet. Without water there is no life. Water is life. Water is love. And let's be the water, let's be the ocean, so we care again for the waters of this planet and for our waters, and for our beautiful bodies and grounding, and our beautiful feet that have carried us everywhere. They need a lot of looking after. That's why it is so beautiful to have the frequencies coming up through the feet. It's very special. So happy new year, happy new now, happy deconstructing, and happy arriving, remembering. So much love, beautiful family. Thank you for being here with me, and thank you for sharing, and I see you again when I come on next, and always in the quantum field. Take good care.